Hello guys, my name is Cosmic. I know I have not uploaded for a long time and I'm so sorry. I actually have schoolwork. But today I'll be telling you about all PC parts. Now I'll be telling you about PC parts and peripherals. So get ready. This is gonna be a lot of information. Okay, I'm gonna start about with the motherboard. The motherboard is the mother of all components, like CPU, GPU, and all that stuff. So it kind of it's what you place everything in. Like if you it's the place where you should attach all other components. Okay, now it's CPU. CPU is just the brain of the computer. All it does is just process everything, process all the information, data, and everything, and do all the calculations. It's pretty complicated, and despite its size, it does a lot, which is a bit crazy because of course, I just said its size is so small, bro. What the hell? And then we have something called we have the GPU. The GPU is a big form of the GPU is called the graphic card. The graphics card. What am I saying? The graphics card is a card that lets you render in graphics better. Now your CPU has its own graphics. It can render its graphics, but a graphics card's main purpose is to render in graphics, while CPU does everything else. So it doesn't pay much attention to graphics anymore. So if you want to play games or do editing or 3D editing, you'll need a graphics card. There are different types of graphics cards for gaming. The best graphics, and there are also other graphics cards for work. And the best graphics card for gaming is probably the 1590 NVIDIA RTX 1590, the new one. The RAM is wait, a RAM kind of what lets you do multitasks. It runs everything. It helps you run everything. Like it helps you multitask. And it also helps you run everything smoother. The more RAM you have, the more smoother your will go. Memory is kind of what stores the data. It stores all the data of different apps, and then the apps itself, not the data, just the app, go to another place called the storage, which the storage contains the apps while the data is contained by the memory. And then we also have the hard drive. The hard drive is actually just like something that operates your computer. It's not the same as RAM. The RAM helps with other things, and the hard drive is to operate things. And it's pretty slow. That's why a modern and a better version of the uh, better version of the hard drive is the SSD. SSD is a hard drive, essentially just a hard drive, but has so much more storage and is much more faster. Even some of the worst SSDs are somewhat better than some of the best hard drives. So SSD is just the upgraded version of a hard drive. What is and the last one is a power supply. The power supply is, well, it's in the name. It supplies power to different components like the GPU, CPU, motherboard. Not the motherboard. What am I saying? Hard drive, SSD, storage. It just does all that. It just gives you uh, energy, uh, electricity, and the measuring unit for this is actually called watts. Now, some uh, power supplies have like what 450, which it sounds like a lot, but if you're getting something like a 1590, you will need much more watts, because the 1590 itself takes like what 500 and something watts, and that's excluding the other things. So you need like one with 500 watts, like 1000 watts. What am I saying? 1000 watts, something like that. And another thing, and there's another thing, and then we'll get to the peripherals. The last thing is the case. Cases are important because the fans are actually attached to cases which cool your uh, PC so that your PC doesn't bottleneck. Which is when bottlenecking is when you have like bottlenecking is when your computer gets really hot. And also another thing that people want to do is that, oh really, then I'll just get a really good CPU, a really bad CPU, and a really good GPU. So I can only play games. I don't work or do anything else. You can't do that. You need to get two CPUs and GPUs equal in power, or you get something called CPU bottleneck. The normal bottleneck is when your computer gets really hot, but CPU bottleneck is when like your CPU and GPU are unequal. So yeah, that's kind of it. And now let's talk about peripherals. Peripherals aren't. If you don't know what peripherals are the extra things that a PC need to run, like the keyboard. Keyboard has these letters in front. I think you guys know what a keyboard is. I'm gonna say it. A keyboard is a pile of buttons with numbers in them that display it. So you can like. Uh, Send messages that way. And yeah, there are also special keys like Control, Windows, Alt, Shift, Enter, and more. Uh, and also the mouse. If you have a laptop, that little pad-looking thing under your laptop. That's called a trackpad. And look at this. I'm using my trackpad to move my mouse. I move my cursor. See, it's pretty slow and it sucks and it's really good. And it kind of burns my fingers because sometimes it gets really hot. Now I'm moving it with my mouse. See, it's so smooth and plus you need a mouse pad which makes it much more smoother so you don't feel pain. And also, the reason why mouses are better is because mouses actually are put in a plastic container like thing which matches the shape that our hands are used to, so we can comfortably hold this with our hands. And well, it's very good. It has two buttons on it, and the buttons on trackpads are usually very hard to press, while the buttons on the mouses are much more easier to press. And it's also much better for gaming if you want to do that. The last thing that's left is are called the monitors. The monitors are actually some things that like display what you have on. Some monitors have 1080p, which P stands for pixels, so 180p, and then there's different. So if you think about it, a monitor with 2000 something p is better than a monitor which is 180p. Of course, it's gonna be better because it has more pixels. And there are even more better versions called 4K, 8K. You've probably heard of them with the phrase "caught in 4K." That's kind of it. I mean, yeah, this video was pretty short, but I mean, probably that's all you guys want. You can just leave the video right now because I'm just gonna yap and do the outro. So you guys can leave now. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time. I hope I can make videos quicker because I more videos more faster because right now I have class. Like my exams ended, and like my normal class has already started, but I can still record videos. So see you guys in the next video.